Daniel O'Donnell, he does approximately close to 200 concerts per year. And he's been doing it, gosh, since 1995, 96, when he really became popular, and every year after that. He starts on April 2nd in Aberdeen, Scotland, then he goes to the United Kingdom, then he comes to the United States, I mentioned that to you, at the Tri-Lakes Theater on May 16th through the 28th. Then he has a tour through Pennsylvania, New York, then he goes to Ottawa, Ontario on the 3rd. If you didn't get this, you folks in Canada and the U.S., listen to this, please. June 3rd in Ottawa, he will be in a concert. He will be at the Orpheum Theater in Vancouver, British Columbia on June 5th. I believe the tickets are gone. Check with Ticketmaster. We have none, and we don't know the number to Ticketmaster, folks. We don't know the telephone number. Look it up. Okay, in Seattle, he'll be at the Paramount Theater on June 6th of this year. He will be in the Portland Arena in Portland on June 8th. Then he goes to Milwaukee, Minneapolis, Winnipeg. You folks in Manitoba, he will be at the MTS Center on June 14th, Daniel O'Donnell. So if you are, and then of course his fall schedule again at the Tri-Lakes Theater in Branson, Missouri, that starts on November 4th. So that'll give you some idea, and after that he's back in Ireland for the rest of that time. But almost like every third night, on the average, he's doing a concert. He's a very, very active person. This is our last break around Daniel O'Donnell, so this is your last time to put your dollars of support for public television around a person that you truly like, admire, and enjoy his singing. I want to thank the folks up in Canada. Over half of our calls for the concert have been from Canada. Good on you. Good on you. All right, here's what we have for you in the way of thank you gifts. You know, the thank you gifts are just that. They are thank you gifts. We're not selling CDs or videos for $70, $80, or $100. Though the dollars go to support public television, the thank you gifts are a reminder of an evening when you and I had a wonderful time sitting together and watching this program and enjoying the great music. So if you'd like the CD of the Highlights program that he did about 2 months ago, I believe, about 2 months ago, it was a 4-hour live production from Branson. This is the Highlights CD at the $70 level. If you would like the encore of the program, which is the one you just saw, the VHS or the DVD at the $80 level, and there is a lot of extra in this, including a long interview with Daniel, and a tour of his home in Donegal, in Kincasslaw, which, as I mentioned before, we've never seen the inside of his house, so you're going to get a tour. The 2 CD set of this concert at the $90 level, that's 20 cuts plus 8 additional songs that are not even on the VHS or the DVD. If you'd like the Highlights CD plus the 2 CD set I just talked about, plus the choice of VHS or DVD, that's at the $200 level. And as I suggested to you, if you know a Daniel O'Donnell friend who's a real fan, and you know that you have got no idea what to get them for their birthday or anniversary or Christmas or whatever holiday might be coming along, get these and give them to them. You'll be a hero. I'm here to tell you, you'll be a hero. 1-800-443-1999. You give us a call.
And for all of you viewers all across Canada, don't forget, your money's at par, so that when you call and you want to receive that gift, it's at par. You know, we take occasion to talk about our viewers across Canada because we realize that KCTS is not just a Puget Sound station, not just a Washington station, not just a Washington, Oregon, Idaho station, but a North American station. And it is extremely important that we hear from you across Canada because, you know, you do contribute significantly to the funding of KCTS. You know, we talk about it at other times that 75%, almost 75% of all of the funding for KCTS comes from you, the individual member. And it can't be just the members south of the border, it's also got to be the members north of the border. And we treat your dollar at par, as it should be. So that's why we want to hear from you. Take just a moment, give us a call. You see the number no matter where you are, 1-800-443-1999. It works, so pick it up, give us a call, and do it right now. Thanks.
You can look at KCTS and you see programming from British Columbia about British Columbia.
My children get to watch programs that I'm glad they get to watch, and whether I'm Canadian or American, I don't think that really makes a difference. We're benefiting from the program just like our neighbors down south are.
Commercial television, they're after the bottom line. Programming kind of, you know, is a second thought, whereas public broadcasting, the bottom line is the programming.
If I had to choose between a pledge drive and watching countless commercials during the course of a day, or a pledge drive once every few months, I'd pick the pledge drive any time.
I like the idea that, you know, instead of paying for it with your advertising dollars, whatever, you're paying for it by watching it, you know. So I mean, it's totally reasonable. It's a user fee.
Definitely. I think that's worthwhile, and the direct way is, you know, really the best way, because in commercials you pay for it other ways. There's indirectly.
If you watch commercial television with all of its many, many commercials and the noise and just the franticness of it all, and then turn on PBS, on KCTS, you notice such a difference. It's almost like a breath of fresh air, or I guess I would say there's a certain kind of purity to public television. I know that sounds a little schmaltzy, but it's just there. It's an effort to put the very best kinds of programs for you and your family and the community that can possibly be produced. And that is, you know, programs that inform and entertain and educate and really are there for you in a way that commercial television just isn't, to be honest. And so this is a time to support it. If you really do value this kind of programming, and I know many of you do, then this is a time to step up, because the financial support is needed. So call 1-800-443-1999. Do it tonight. Become a member, and I think you'll feel really good.
All the past mistakes we've made and the price that we have paid. Oh, how we'd live if we could start anew. But there's no going back.
We just had a member of the Inglemoor Key Club come up and ask me a question about the CDs. The CD, the first one we're talking about, is a highlight CD of the Live from Branson concert of about 2 or 3 months ago, the 4-hour live special. That's from that concert. The double CD set that we're talking about for the encore concert is from this concert, which was a combination of the best songs, they thought, from the 4-hour show, plus about 12 new songs that were not in that concert. So just to hopefully straighten that out for you. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about very briefly, I mentioned some of the extras in the DVD and the VHS. I missed something, and I want you to understand what's in this, because if you're a Daniel O'Donnell fan, the extras in the VHS and the DVD are better than they have ever been, I think, in any other VHS or DVD. I talked to you about the interview with Daniel, and Daniel talking about the special event and learning facts about him, and a tour of Daniel in Donegal. Well, he also is joined by his mother, who we have never even heard her voice, in the home where he grew up. Then he takes us to the church where he sang his first recital as a child and where he got married. Then there's a beautiful panoramic tour of the Irish countryside with Daniel and his wife Magella, and they take you into their home, and he and Magella welcome you into their home. If you're a Daniel O'Donnell fan, that's an absolute must. Okay, those are either one of those at the $80 level, either the DVD or the VHF. They both got that extra material in it. 1-800-443-1999. You got 5 minutes to call in and get that DVD or VHS. Call us.
The reason public television is important is that all other television, or 99.9% of all other television, is just the filler between commercials. That's all it is. That's all executives look at it as, and that's all they care about. Can I get somebody to tune in to watch my advertisers' commercials? So public television actually looks at the content of what they're doing primarily, and who the audience is, and what else isn't being done. And that's just not the way the rest of television is run. So I think that's why it's important. It's the only place you're going to see certain things.
You know, KCTS cannot exist without volunteers, and pledge drives like this simply cannot work without volunteers. And so we're very fortunate tonight that we have kids from, young adults, excuse me, from Inglemoor High in North Seattle, and they're members of an organization known as Key Club. And I'm really fortunate to have sitting right next to me Andy Briggs. Hello, Andy.
Hi.
Tell me, what is Key Club?
Key Club is a volunteer club at high school that we do community service, and we're sponsored by the Kiwanis
Okay. You've been here for almost 6 hours today. Why?
It seemed like fun, and it's nice to do stuff, volunteer, and it seemed like a fun thing to do.
Have you had fun? And what's been the best part of the day for you?
Yeah, I've liked talking to people that support the station and are really excited to be giving money, and it just puts a smile on your face.
That's good. If you watch Channel 9, what is it you look for?
I like the home improvement shows like the New Yankee Workshop and Bob Vila, stuff like that.
Okay, great. Well, we're really glad you're here. Have you got any suggestions for the folks who are out there watching?
I think they should call 1-800-443-1999 right now and make a pledge.
Good. Thank you, Andy. You did that very well.
Thanks.
Okay. Give him a call. You heard him. Give us a call, 1-800-443-1999. All these kids want to hear from you, and they want to hear from you now. Call. Thanks.
And I'm going to thank all of you in advance for calling, those of you who haven't yet, and those of you who have called, thank you too for your support and your continuing belief and interest in doing the right thing by pledging your support to public television, and in specific KCTS. Thank you to all the volunteers that were here today. We had a group from the Key Club at Inglemoor High School, and they were a dedicated, hard-working group. Very good students, I'm sure, and fun to have them. And thank you for friends of KCTS who were here as well. It's important to maintain this level of support, and for those of you who continue also to renew your membership, that's another thing that we want to thank you for, because that's just as important as being a new member. So thank you. If you're waiting in line ever, thank you for that too. And it's a great place to be, and we really appreciate your support. 1-800-443-1999.
I stay with public broadcasting because of the audience. I look out there and see an audience of citizens, not of consumers. And you can tell a lot about a producer of a broadcast or a journalist if you know that he or she thinks that I have something I've got to sell that audience or something I want to share with that audience. And commercial television exists to deliver audiences to advertisers. Public broadcasting exists to deliver programs to the audience. It's a big difference. These people who watch KCTS and our programs, PBS programs, are people who come because they have an insatiable curiosity about the world. And I'm able, in public broadcasting, to share my curiosity with them and satisfy both of us. So I stay in public broadcasting because it's the only television left that considers you as a citizen and not as a consumer.
All right, we're in call waiting. There's not that many in call waiting, by the way, so if you want to call right now, do that. Get your position in call waiting and talk to our volunteers. We will stay in the studio and continue to take your calls until all of your requests for thank you gifts for Daniel O'Donnell are taken. So don't worry about that. I do want to say this to you, however. The DVD and the VHS that I talked about with all that extra material in it, I don't know if we're going to air this concert again. I really don't. Hopefully Daniel O'Donnell will come up with another concert that we'll be bringing to you. And I don't know if those VHSs or DVDs will have this much extra material. I think this is exceptional. If you're a Daniel O'Donnell fan, this is a gold mine, okay? 1-800-443-1999. Give us a call. Hope you enjoyed the program. And our thanks to the Inglemoor Key Club for a wonderful job.
But I could never descend to be...
Hi, I'm Andy Williams, and